Good morning, everybody. I hope you're doing well. It's Steph. It is 8:37 on my way to work. And it is... Oh, Lord, I've lost track. I was doing so well, and now I'm driving, and I don't think I want to check my taskbar. I do believe it's the 5th of May. It's Friday, 2006. And... I lost a bunch of sort of the original podcasts last night. Well, I didn't lose them last night. I lost them after I had to reinstall Windows. I have a large drive that I bought to store the podcasts, which, of course, in WAV format are enormous. And I reinstalled Windows and completely forgot about this limitation that Windows 2000 can't see a drive bigger than 137 megs without a registry patch. And so when I left it all to defragment and so on, and thus merged a bunch of files together. Now, of course, I have CD backups of it before I bought this drive, so it's not too bad. I'm probably about 20 or 30 of the originals I lost. They also merged together with movies and Word documents and so on. It's all kind of funny. I'm like, oh, this one's not so bad, and then suddenly it switches into something else completely. And, of course, I don't really have the time or energy to go through and listen to them all again just to make sure that they all sound all right. So, not the end of the world. We still have them in MP3 format, of course, on the server, and the original ones are CD quality, and the copies are... I'm glad, at least, that I spent the time to improve the quality of them recently, but it's a bit of a drag, but, this stuff is just so inevitable. When I was younger, I used to sort of have this belief that life should go well and smoothly, and anything that was not well or smooth was an interruption or a deviance from the incredible wellness and smoothness of life as it was supposed to go. And now that I'm a little bit older, I have figured out, and it's not that hard a lesson to learn if you just look at the facts, that life is in fact a large series of problems that you should learn to enjoy. I know that sounds kind of funny, but if you sort of slice and dice life into the stuff which is great that you like and the stuff that is bad that you hate, then your happiness is no longer under your control, but is largely under the control of the circumstances around you. And that doesn't mean that I'm never unhappy, but I like being unhappy. I like unhappiness. I don't like feeling alienated and dissociated from myself and so on, and that doesn't happen so much anymore. But sadness is just a different kind of soup, you know? It's just a soup with a really unusual flavor, and it's an acquired taste. But, so something like last night, where I'm just out of checking a few things, realized that an indeterminate number of the original podcast masters have been toasted irretrievably. I don't think there's any way to retrieve that kind of merged data mess. There's no sort of original file anywhere. It's not like a deletion which you can find in the FAT table or whatever. But that kind of stuff is it's inevitable. There's a Buddhist, and I'll get onto the topic in a sec, but there's a Buddhist thing that says everything you have is broken, and it's just a matter of time, right? So if you have a glass that you love, it's broken already. Sometime in your life, 90% chance, it's in a move or you drop it or something, it's going to get broken. And your MP3 player, the headphone jack is going to stop working or give you that weird, annoying mono or like one earphone, two earphone thing. Or the hard drive's going to fail, or like everything that you have is broken. And the degree to which it's not broken is the degree to which that's good. Rather than if you take the perspective that everything that you have is in perfect condition, and any time that it breaks, it is a negative. Well, that's not really that rational. Of course, I mean, it fundamentally comes down to the fact that we're all broken, in that after the age of 32 or so, your cells are all dying, right? I mean, I'm already dying in that way, sort of medically speaking. And so death is inevitable, and everything that we get that's not death is a damn good thing. So that's something that I would also recommend, that it's an interesting approach to take. That everything that you have is not working and is failing, and the degree to which it doesn't fail, like if your hard drive lasts another year, you should toast your hard drive and be happy about it. Every day that everything works, you should be happy. And I've never had, again, the last time I had a hard drive failure of this kind was about 10 or 12 years ago when I was installing DOS 6 and ended up with, this is back in the days of when you needed compression, because I had a notebook computer with the princely sum of 2 gigabytes of storage space. So I compressed the drive, and then something went wrong, and I ended up with this big blob of compressed data and no backup. And I managed to recover that, but that's the last time that I had any really. That wasn't really a hard drive issue. Again, it was sort of a Microsoft issue. And the only thing that I find annoying is that I installed every single patch after reinstalling Windows, and not one of them addressed the issue of the large hard drive. I would have been a little bit... I thought that might have been a useful one to throw in there, you know. It's fine, there's some one hacker in Romania who knows how to control my Outlook Express if I send him an email, and they'll patch that, but they won't patch the part of the Windows that scrambles your data if it's bigger than 137 gigs, so... Anyway, no biggie. I just thought that was an interesting thing to mention, that... It is a drag, don't get me wrong. It's not like, oh, I am perfectly zen and happy that I had these podcast masters for so long. But it's just that this stuff is inevitable, and I simply won't let it rule over. I can't let it rule over my happiness, right? That's not having self-ownership then, right? Is to say, oh, well, the people at Microsoft and the hard drive and the this and the that, and oh, if only I'd remembered this, because maybe I read this somewhere. Oh, if only I hadn't defragmented that hard drive. Oh, you know, it's like, well, but those are the decisions that I made, and I can't go back and fix them, and berating myself isn't going to do any good. So I just sort of wanted to throw that out there before we get to philosophy. Now, of course, I've had some requests. There's a poll on the website, freedomainradio.com, a good place to sign up for FeedBurner, which I would appreciate, and also to donate, which I would appreciate perhaps even more. Oh, just before I get on to this next thing, too, can I mention that I have now sent out copies of...